with the cut to Sportelli, Monroy, and pull 1, 2, 3. So big change up and change up all the way down. Monroy, a big winner, coming up from 5th to 2nd, and Sportelli coming from 4th to take the win. Boy, oh boy, very interesting.
You know, you hear people say, "Oh, I don't want to win like that." Ah, baloney. You'll take the win no matter what. You know. So yeah, congrats to Sportelli. Kept his nose clean. The winner last week. So congrats. We got to give him his props now, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? He won the race fair and square. I mean, those are the rules that we have there. We have cut rules in place for you guys watching that. 10% or more of the cuts on the track, and you're going to get docked a lap. And boy, oh boy, they sure nailed them. And a lot of the guys that got nailed are on the CC committee. So good on them for docking themselves a lap.
It must have been tough to do, but yeah. We'll get into the Drivers' Championship, what that did to the Drivers' Championship a little bit later, but I guess, the history is that. Algarve is over, and we're at Daytona tonight.
The big road course. And boy, oh boy, what are they in for tonight, Curtis?
Fun! I love this track. This track is good times. You get the technical sections, and then you get the take a breath time around the banking. You may not, you may not think it's much of a take a breath time, but it seems like it takes forever to get around this track. But it's fast, but it's a nice sections where you can take a break, take a look at your gauges, see how everything is, and see where everybody is around you, and then get back to the racing on the infield section 1 through 6. Infield there, but yeah, I like this track a lot. A lot of banking. Of course, everybody knows about the banking that you're doing. It's really going to wreak havoc on the on the right side tires. They will get up the red temps. So it's going to be if we don't get any weather, it's going to be who can manage their tires best on this track.
Well, as you said, it's a lot of fun. These high-speed bank corners are a little different than we used to on some of the other tracks we go to, and I'm sure it's surprised, Curtis. I was dreaming earlier today about having an in-car broadcaster driving tonight.
Yeah, it almost worked out. I was going to be the in-car broadcaster tonight, but Brad came back and says he can make the race. In fact, he was going to fly out to California. But the flight got canceled, so he's racing instead. So I don't get the racing for tonight.
Well, I'm glad you're here anyway, because the hour and a half on Thursday nights is a long hour and a half when you're in the booth alone. And gee, you were telling me earlier that your co-broadcaster you had all lined up on the other side of the pond. I guess the alarm didn't go off, and he was still in La La Land and missed the race on you.
Missed the race, yeah. Well, can't blame him. 2 o'clock in the morning. I think I'd rather be asleep too.
Well, Daytona. 12 turns. We've got 12 corners here. Some super fast, high-speed bank corners. And from what I read in the thread, the start on the curve is going to be something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. Nighttime race tonight, folks. So I hope we've got everything tuned up so that you get a good view of it. But it's lit pretty good, Curtis.
Yeah, it's a well-lit track, and none of it's hidden. You might see some flickering once in a while, but that's kind of the norm around here. The flickering is normally right after turn 3. There's a little short section there. But, don't be alarmed. That's the way it is. But, yeah, you'd mentioned the start. I'd made a start here in GT1 cars, and yeah, you gotta pedal it right off the start there, and otherwise the car will just flip around on you. All sorts of man. If you're in front of the track and you do that, it's going to be bad news. But then you got all these cars piling into turn 1, and you go wide in turn 1, you're going to go off into the grass and hit that wall. So you guys going to have to be careful. race until this tire comes.
Well, talking about being careful, we've got a couple of new drivers tonight. Dan Collins. Dan is driving the Viper, number 29 Viper, and Chris Jackson driving the number 15 Lister. And AGP wants to welcome these two new drivers to Thursday Night Racing, and over in qualifying, I just want to pull a shout out there. Both these guys have got some help from some NAGP veterans, and willing to get one of our seasoned professionals to work with you to get you up to speed. Come on out, join us. It's a heck of a lot of fun here in the great community to be involved with.
Definitely, everybody's more than willing to help out. There's no egos. Well, Alice, but you know, there's no egos around here to worry about. Yeah, we got the two new guys.
No, there's plenty of egos. There's plenty of egos out there, but that's what racing's all about. Come on out. It's very competitive, and we welcome you, and we're going to beat you up, and you're going to have a barrel load of fun in the meantime.
That's right. I also want to do another little shout out here for my Monday night teammate, Mr. Mike Graytrix. He's going to be filling in tonight for Christian Hamilton. He is going to be the Aston Martin. He was doing some laps last night, so I'll keep my eyes out for my Monday teammate, the Aston Martin.
And we will keep the cameras out for him too, because he was looking pretty racy out there in early practice.
Yeah, we were practicing around last night, right when I was getting ready out to race tonight, and he was looking real strong. So.
Well, I was just going over to put the camera on him, and he's in the pits. Well, right now, look at that. Chris Moses 138.8, 11. Wow.
Yeah, Chris was feeling pretty spunky about his chances tonight. Huh? I was looking around on the thread, so he tries to play it down with the Lamborghini not being the fast car. He was about ready to give in to the Vipers, thinking they're just gonna like walk away with us. Yeah, still got to get through the corners. Get out of that chicane good. That's what the secret is around here. Get out of that chicane.
Well, you can bet Chris is playing a few mind games there, because he is looking mighty racy out there in pre-practice tonight and up in qualifying. Right now he's sitting in P1 in qualifying. I've got Chris Moses. He's just leaving the pits. Going to jump on board with Chris. Do you want to describe the track, Curtis?
Oh yeah, well, pits you got to be careful of. Excuse me, you got to kind of skip turn one. So yeah, when you come out of the pit, you're actually going to turn 3. So now we're in a little short section. You'll see some flickers here that I was talking about. You just keep it on the gas. Go through forward. Quick left. You got to be careful here. The car wants to get right in this decreasing radius right-hand turn. Get on the power as soon as you can. Another short straight. Brake right before there's a little access road there, so you want to brake there. Sweep. Get on the power, because you're gonna hit this banking with everything you got. Then you like loosen your fingers, look around, say hi to the chicks in the grandstands through this, you know, and try to remember your racing. Not a whole lot going on here. There won't be any passing really going on. As you brake after the 150-meter mark, feather it through the bus stop chicane. During the race, you're going to want to be careful with that exit point right there. If you cut that more than 5 times tonight, you're going to get docked a lap. So the guys are going to have to be careful about that. So then again, you're on the banking. You don't want to run too high. You definitely don't want to nip the wall as you come out right here. The car will want to carry. Keep it off the wall. Any aero damage will cost you speed, and that's what this track is going to be all about tonight, is speed. And since we missed it coming out of the pits, this is turn 1. Dangerous part of the track. You got to carry as much speed as you can, obviously there, but you go wide, you're going to go sliding off into that grass. So there's your lap at Daytona.
As usual, Curtis, a masterful, skillful job describing that track.
pull your legs up, take your hands off the wheel, because it's going to hurt when you hit.
Well, still on board there with Chris. He is currently in P1. And looks like he might be grabbing a bit of a draft coming down here. But the track's long enough, these guys shouldn't have too much trouble getting some clean track to put in some good solid laps.
And you actually kind of want to find somebody, if you time it right, you can gain a good half a second, 3/4 of a second just off a draft. So we saw he was already, what, 2/10 up there? I wouldn't be surprised to see him 3/4 of a second up. So probably like 38.3.
I think he might have got held up just a little bit there, but he's using that draft to his advantage. And he did. He set a new fast lap.
38.7.
Again, your expertise at all things racing here, Curtis, you called that one right on. Marty, you
missed it by what, half a second, but I was close.
No, you called it right on when you said he's grabbing a good draft there. Marty, you ran in P2 right now. Oh, big flip, caught the inside. And look at that, just as Chris Mosa said, there's Mr. Parsons in P3. Aaron driving the big Viper. Andrew Werner in a Koenigsegg. What's your thoughts on the Koenigsegg in this track?
Well, last night I was watching again in my practice. Andrew Werner, once he caught a good draft, he set some of the fastest times of everybody last night in practice. So watch out for the Koenigsegg's. It's all going to be who can time their lap to get that draft. I think it's going to steal pole.
Well, I am
the pole position tonight.
Currently through the TV cameras on David Poole, and the Koenigseggs are coming out nose to tail. And I think you called it on the last view we saw of Chris. I think these guys are going to try to run with each other and grab themselves a little bit of draft time.
Yeah, if they can manage to do it, there's no reason not to. You know, it's your teammate.
Yeah, I actually think this is a real smart move. I don't see enough teams doing this. And we saw it earlier in the season in GT2, but I think it is a really smart move.
Greg Alex may have gone in for something, but he'll be able to time it better for his teammate to come out. Maybe just snag that draft. Dave Cole, surprised he's not running a little bit faster now right now, but maybe let's keep Alex. Nope, look at that. Alex takes out one of the brake markers down there. That wasn't very nice.
No, that's going to cause a little bit of a havoc to everybody else.
That comes back for the race.
I have not seen them come
Took
back.
out the number 1 brake marker.
I have not seen them come back after qualifying. No, I can personally tell you that it is a pain in the butt, and that no one will let you live that one down, as they didn't let me live it down. So I think that marker's gone.
Yeah, I was just happened to just hop online. You know, you didn't see it on the cameras, but he went off coming out of the pits, which can happen. You just kind of drove right through the number 1, the last marker, the number 1 sign. So I hope people notice that. And I'm calling him out now, everybody. So you saw who did it, Alex.
No escaping that one. Well, I'm on board. I'm on board now with Poole and Werner, as the 2 Koenigseggs go around on a timed lap, but they have definitely are not close enough to capitalize on each other's drafting.
Oh, Marty Urn, I'm surprised. He's looking real good in that McLaren. He's not carrying any weight tonight. Aaron only carrying 20 kilograms, but still able to get around this track real good. But Marty, I'm surprised in that McLaren, running second at the moment.
Well, no surprise to me that Marty's our senior statesman, and boy, oh boy, he's been around for a while. surprised me that he has a lot of laps in at this track.
I don't remember who Marty's teammate was in that other McLaren. Ah, Sportelli, that's right, last week's winner.
David Poole coming around to finish out his hot lap car in P7 and stays in P7. Back over to leaderboard. We got Chris Moses on top, Marty Wren in second, Parsons in third, Kevin Savoy in fourth, and Rich Roman in fifth, Andrew Werner in sixth, Poole in seventh, White in eighth, Craig Myers up tonight. Now, you know, that's a little bit of a surprise to me, Curtis, because you know what? Mr. Smooth, Mr. Myers, doesn't usually qualify near the top of the pack. I know he ends up there all the time, and I think he's one of the smoothest drivers we got in NAGP, but boy, good on him to see him up in P9 for qualifying.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but the car is really well suited around Daytona. It's got good power and good top end, and it's all about that here, so I don't see any reason why Greg shouldn't be up in the top 10 at the start of this race.
So you're saying it's the car?
Oh, it's always the car. Just ask any driver, it's always the car.
Well, that's funny. We were talking about egos. Ask any driver, and it's the driver.
Yeah, but if you're going slow, it's always the car's fault.
Well, I usually blame it on my mechanic, setup crew, and all the rest of the people involved as well. I'm safe for saying that. Andre Prado.
You're just new. You're just new at this.
Well, compared to some of the drivers,
another year or two, you'll be blaming it on the car.
P11, Big Al Merriman in P11. Brad Maris in P12. And now, that's interesting. There's our Monday night broadcasters. Brad Maris and Al Merriman running 11 and 12. Salem Montgomery up to P13. Good on Salem. David Rowley, well, there you go.
Good last night in practice.
David Rowley is up, awake, and in the race. Well, he's not going to be too happy. It's nighttime in England, and it's nighttime here at Daytona. John.
You know who I seen?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't see him, but I found him just as I was saying that, so I'll shut up now.
Oh, who's that?
Andres Prieto. He's been having some disconnect problems this season. Currently running 8th, but we'll see if he can make it through qualifying without a disco and actually start 8th, huh?
Yeah, those technical problems can drive us crazy at the best of times. You know, you put in tons and tons of practice just to have it, you know, a technical IT issue drive you out of the race. That's infuriating. Sportelli in 15. We got Douglas in 16. Lauren Feisman in 17. Johnny McIntyre in 19. Juan Monroy in 20. Andre Cole, Maserati in 21. And John Wathen out cutting some grass right now in 22. Marco Conti in 23. And Sam Rolfe in 24. Boy, Sam usually has been moving up the ranks there. He's been Sportelli's partner this season, I believe, and taking the tutelage very well. Our newcomer, Dan Collins. Got to drive around with Dan here. Give our newcomer a little bit of airtime. Dan is driving the Viper, number 29. Dan Hills from Chattanooga, Tennessee. On Dan.
You know, I noticed a Freudian skip there. Any particular reason you gave old Johnny Ludwig to skip there in 18th spot? Has he not paid up on his bet yet?
No, I'm going to get raked over the coals tomorrow in the office, even though he owes me a big breakfast, Curtis. I never even saw it. I just kept pushing the keyboard button, and he never. I thought that was funny. I just went from 17 to 19. But maybe
oh, no, I think he did it on purpose. Johnny may have something to say about that.
Great, keep yakking it up, Curtis.
Of course, maybe he's going to plan on moving up, and so it's okay, right?
Keep yakking it up. I'm getting deeper and deeper in this hole I'm in. Dan Collins coming around for his finish. And sticks at the 25. Mike Greatrix. That's your Monday night teammate.
I think he's just running his race setup, because these are the times he was running all night in practice. Actually, he was a little bit faster last night. He had gotten down to the 41.7s, I think. So a full second off the pace from last night. So don't know what to tell you there.
Pre-race jitters out on the big track.
That's it. It's got to be it. Maybe the tire temps are getting him. It's
sticks in.
You know, we only got a minute and a half left. This is flying by.
Go back to the leaderboard here. Moses still up in front by about 3/100ths of a second over Savoie. Both of them are out on track. Let's grab Savoie and see where he is.
How Savoie's getting that car up that fast? He's up at second at the moment, faster than the Vipers.
He's had some great success with this. With the, you know, I don't believe this is a Nissan. No one can tell me it is. I've never heard one sound like this. I've never seen one go this fast.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. So it's got to be a super secret Lockheed project or something.
And Savoie stays in P2.
Seconds.
Aaron Parsons coming around. Looks like he might get this final lap in.
It's going to be tough. It's just not getting up on the banking right now. 5 seconds left in qualifying, so anybody out there is on their last lap.
Absolutely. Let's see how he is on the split here. Well, he is definitely off the pace, and even if he gets his lap in, he's not going to move too much further up.
You're not going to move. You're not going to knock half a second out there by yourself, or yeah, in the last section. So. And he just parks it. Yeah. Or did he?
No, he completed the lap, but he stuck there in P4. Well, that's it for qualifying. But it was a warm track, there's no doubt about it. That was 103 degrees. Practice was absolutely insane, though. It was up around 121 degrees. So it's anybody's guess as to what we're going to get.
Big surprise there to me is Kevin Savoie. How did he manage to get that car up into second?
Just nipped Marty Uren for that P2. Well, Kurt, I know it might be a little early, but what's your thoughts here tonight?
As I write these names down so I can kind of get an idea, I'm thinking, even with the weight, we're going to really have to watch out for Aaron Parsons. Kevin Savoie, we know, gets good gas mileage, but I'm not real sure about the tire wear, so we're just going to have to see what we get as far as track temperatures. We might, there's a average chance of rain around this track, and if that happens, if we do happen to get rain, I'm going to have to go with the naturally higher downforce cars to take the win. If it rains, I'm going to put my money on Moses. But if it's a dry track, I'm still going to stick with Parsons, I think.
And I was nodding my head. Of course, this is an audio broadcast on our end, and I'm thinking that Parsons and that Viper, I'm going off what you said earlier. His teammate Greg Myers is qualified in 10th position, which is a little higher than Greg normally qualifies. Not that he doesn't finish high, but he's usually up there at the end. But I'm thinking that Viper, I think you're right. I think it suits this track, and big power might take him out through to the end.
You're catching me trying to talk and ride at the same time. But yeah, there's always the wild card there, but I'm gonna hold judgment till I see what we get for weather.
Well, I'm gonna take Mr. Parsons, and I am gonna also say I think Greg is gonna finish a lot better than P10. Mr. Smooth is gonna drive his way up into the top 5. I'm convinced of that. I think these Vipers are going to go out there, and big power is going to rule this track. Well, folks, we're in Quali 2. We're just waiting for a little bit to see if anybody else is going to join. Looks like we got a pretty good turnout tonight. 27 cars out there.
Yeah, it's a better turnout we've had the last few times, so that's good to see.
Absolutely. I guess everybody is going to get their last race in before the Christmas break. And while we got a couple of minutes here for NAGP, I'd like to wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a safe New Year's. And hey guys, no drinking and driving, 0 tolerance this holiday season unless you're online, and then get at her. And I hope, Curtis, I hope you have a great Christmas too. Into warm up.
I plan on it. I'm off for the next week.
You and me both, and brother, I am sure looking forward to it. I plan on being in Times Square this year for New Year's, and if I'm not crushed and mutilated by the hordes and crowds, I will be back after the New Year.
I'm just going to hang out in the house, work on the race car, play with the airplanes, do some online racing. Unfortunately, I have to bury a bird tomorrow because I lost my parakeet this evening. But
oh no! No, how old was the bird?
Yeah, moment is not very old, so I've kind of got a question mark. I don't know about that. But so we'll move on. But looking forward to the next week and a half off. That's for sure.
Well, let's hope that everything goes well tonight. You do know what tomorrow is. It is the 21st of December. It is the winter solstice. The daylight will be getting longer. If the end of the world doesn't come tomorrow, folks.
Yeah, did they nail a time for that? Because my wife is supposed to go out there and paint something on the driveway to mark the winter solstice. So, do we have a, we know the day, but is there a time that, it's all going to end?
Well, I'd rather not know, Curtis. If it's fire and brimstone is coming, bring it on, and just blindside me.
They skipped that part, didn't they? I guess they didn't have a Rolex. They had a rock.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, they need a really big wristband and one really strong guy to carry that timepiece. Well, we're into warm-up, and it's 95 and dry track conditions, 78 degrees ambient temperature, which will leave that rubber on the track. A little reminder, folks, this is a night race. I'm just hoping, Curtis, that some of these guys that have got a little bit of connection issues, maybe some frame rate issues, I'm sort of hoping we don't get the wet, because in the night race in the wet is going to be hard on some of these guys.
It can be troublesome, yeah, especially with the rain. But looking good. The forecast sunny, which I guess means at nighttime means not cloudy. Guess we'll wait and see. Hey, did you want to run over the championship standings?
That would be great if we did.
What do you want, drivers or team?
Go ahead and lay them on us, because I know it's heating up and we're going into the last couple of races of the year. So what do you got for us?
Well, everything tightened up. David Pohl, since he didn't get the win, is not in the championship lead, but he still got that third place last week. But Aaron Parsons is in the lead by 1 point over Chris Moses. Aaron has 122, Chris 121. David Pohl rounding up the top three with 114 for that Drivers' Championship. And technically, Richard Roman still in it with 107. Brad Maris is going to have a lot of good things happen if he wants to take the championship this year. He's technically with 91 points, so we'll concentrate on those top four right now. As far as
how's the team
championship goes, let's see, PMR, Chris Moses, and Al Marimon are still out front, 174, or 10 points in front of Greg Myers and Aaron Parsons. They're, I'd say only 10 behind, 164 points. 05 Motorsports, David Pohl and Andrew Warner, 142 points. So they're still technically in it. Anger Racing, Brad Maris, and Andres Prieto. If Andres can actually, stay online and start at the front of the pack, those two have always got a good chance of getting some good finishes. So they're sitting fourth right now at 138, so they're still in it, but they've got to do some good things for the next two races too.
Yeah, and we're going to keep our eyes on those two as well, because there's a couple of drivers there that can finish fairly high in the standings and collectively do real well.
The last time we ran here, it was a Viper 1, 2, 3. Of course, it was a 3-hour race, and we went 88 laps here. But Chris Moses, Kamran Chowdhury, and David Canavan went 1, 2, 3 with the Viper GTRs around this track last time. And then Sportelli and Roman and some Ferrari 550s rounded out the top 5. So, those Vipers are hard to beat around here.
Well, and I've got the camera on Dan Collins right now. He's our new driver out there on the track. He is also driving a Viper, so we're going to keep our eye on that and see how he can tame the beast. Well, warm-up is done, and we're getting ready, folks, for Thursday night GT1, live from Daytona. It sounds like some of the drivers are practicing their starts right now.
It's probably a good idea. We were fooled into this last Monday when you had nice perfect temperatures, a perfect racetrack, and then what happens? We get a flooded track and perfectly sunny, but
not tonight.
What do we got?
We have got 98-degree track, dry, 86 ambient. Forecast for sun? Well, it's clear. Definitely not going to get sun.
Yeah, give me kind of moon. Forecast for moon.
And we've seen these guys practice these rocket launches. So let's see how they do tonight.
We saw David Pohl. He got a great start last week. So
I watched that on the broadcast today, Curtis, and you're right. He just rocketed away from everybody.
On the third row tonight, but he should be able to get another good start.
Well, it's going to be tricky starting on a bank, part of the track.
Now, keep an eye on what's going on in the back in case there's some, you know, there's got to be something happening in the first corner. I don't think we can get through the first corner tonight without somebody banging fenders and somebody going off. So see who it's going to be tonight. It's just, you know, that corner just, it funnels down. There's not enough room for 4 cars wide, and it kind of ends up like that after the brake markers. 30 seconds to go before we get going.
And we're in for an hour and a half of action. And I guess...
What do we think, was it 44 laps, Max?
Yeah, it looks like we have got... who is that at number 2? Savoy has not got his lights on. That is probably just an oversight. But he is going to want to get his lights on here.
Yeah, it's going to be the rules tonight.
They're off, and Moses drops the hammer and pulls away from Savoy. Savoy tucking in right behind. As we mentioned, that first corner, Chris going wide on that corner there, slipping and sliding. Savoy back up behind. Savoy, Uren, Parsons, 1, 2, 3, 4. Roman right in tight behind with Prado in behind him. Big Al Merriman, Warren Weisman, and John Sportelli. Salem Montgomery rounds up the top 10 so far. How's it looking back there, Curtis?
Yeah, there was some bumping and grinding going on out there, but Mikey Great Tracks, even though he did start, he went wide. He's going to be at the back of the pack.
Well, he has got an hour and a half, so losing a little bit at the beginning. Boy, going on to the first bank section there. Moses slipping and sliding all over. Weisman right on his tail, looking on the outside. Weisman, I think he's got him. Nope. Too wide. Whoa, what tight action here all through the chicane. Moses, Savoy, Uren, and Parsons still 1, 2, 3, 4. Roman being pressed by Prado. Prado's got him on the low side of the bank. And Roman has been passed by Prado. Prado just went by him like he was standing still.
Looks like Andres Cole has hit something. He's out.
Cole is out already. Boy, that's not even 1 lap in. Savoy has taken the lead over Moses. On board with Chris Moses. Boy, that Savoy has got that Nissan trim and tune this year, like unbelievable. Savoy, Moses, Marty Uren into P3 and Parsons in P4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prado catching quickly up to this pack. Rich Roman, Merriman, Weisman, and Alex White P9. Sportelli back in P10. Cole in the kind of second P11. Salem Montgomery dropped a little bit down to P12. Brandon Maris at P13. Johnny McIntyre in 14, and Greg Myers down to P15. So Greg's lost a few positions.
Wathan's 5. He started in 10.
Yep, Wathan up to 16. Marco Conti in 17. Andrew Werner in the other Koenigsegg in 18. Gup Douglas in 18th, and Gup has had a bit of damage there. He's running with 1 eyeball. Sam Rolfe in 19.
Yeah, Gup had dropped way back.
And Johnny Lugnuts in 21st. Johnny, get off the left pedal, get on the right. Aaron Parsons, and similarly, Parsons back in 21st. What has happened there? Parsons is missing a headlight too. Chris Jackson, one of our newcomers in P22, and Mike Greatrix, P23. Looks like Mikey's
we just lost David Pohl to an accident.
No, sorry, we missed that.
He's out of the race.
Looks like Mikey Greatrix has had a little bit of a bobble there too, because he's missing a headlight as well. Dan Collins in the Viper, chasing down your teammate. David Poole has parked it. Rally in P25 all by himself. Pareto has taken the lead.
Andres Pareto out front.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, that was a pretty hectic start. I can't really. I've been trying to keep up with it, but I can't. You know, there were people off here, people off there. As you can see, there's lights missing here and lights missing there. People with no headlights at all. Johnny Loveland's running around out there without any lights on, but Gubster dropped all the way back. I think what was it, the 27th spot. So he's working his way back up. He had started what 16th, so he's picking people off again. He's back up to 16th.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. We missed that lead change, but that happened so fast. We were just running through the pack, and boy, there's a lot of stuff happening. We got Prado in first with Marty Urin in second, but Chris Moses down to P3. Chris has dropped down to P3 already. And Chris has got
second behind?
Yeah. Rich Roman has got is all over the back of Chris now. Warren Weisman up to P5. Big Al Merriman in P6. Alex White up to P7, and Salem Montgomery has picked up again. Now he's in P8. Holy jumping. Sorry about all this, Chris. I can't even keep track of these guys. They're changing like flies here.
Kevin Savoie is out. I don't see him on timing and scoring anymore either, so there must have been some sort of altercation up front.
Jumping. Another wild week. This is reminiscent of Monday. Monday was just bizarre beyond belief, and I guess it's continuing on tonight. Andre Prado, P1. And he has got Marty all over the back. Prado, Urin, Moses, Roman, Weisman, Big Al Merriman. Al in a fight here.
Work his way up from 10. He's up to 6 now.
And Al is in a fight. He is switching spots as they come through here. Alex White and Al Merriman. Into turn 1. Big Al in first. We know that Alex White is speedy. And that looks like, yes, it's Salem Montgomery up to P8. And boy, he's having a heck of a run so far. But he's got Brad Maris breathing down his neck. Johnny McIntyre up to P10. And John Sportelli, P11.
I think there's a little bit of an anomaly with some of the time.
We've got Montgomery spun, has put Sportelli wide. And Myers wide, but it looks like they got through okay.
I think sometimes you got to be careful with timing and scoring in this. The last section on the track, I've noticed that during practice that sometimes will show people, you know, 5 or 6 seconds ahead of where they really are. So.
On board with Greg Myers as they go through the chicane. that spot. Let's see if he can hang on to it going into turn 1. Well, like I said earlier, that Greg's so smooth, he makes it look easy peasy. But Greg's running without headlights too, so there's been a lot of bumping and grinding going on. And now he's got Sportelli back on his tailgate. Marco Conti has made his way up to P13. Salem, after that little spin, is down to P14 now. Got Douglas in the points at 15. And Andrew Werner in the Koenigseggers in the last paid position at P16. But this is still really early. Aaron Parsons, not quite sure what happened to Aaron. He's in P17, but I have no doubt with a good hour and 15 minutes left in this race, he is going to make his way up. Juan Monroy back in P18, Sam Rolfe at 19th, Johnny Lucknuts in P20, and Mike Graytrix in P21. Let's just keep an eye on Mike and see how he's making out around this track here tonight. You said Mike was filling in for somebody tonight?
Yeah, he's filling in for Christian Hamilton tonight. So a few more spots. He'll be working his way up towards the, the points.
Attaboy, Mike. You got a lot of time left in the race. Get up there and grab a point. And
I'm watching these guys up front.
Whoa!
With Chris, Marty, and Rich, and everybody. They're battling like it's the last lap of the race here.
Just watched Dan Collins as he was chasing Mike Graytrix, and he has spun it. And back up with your leader, Marty Urin. Rich Roman in P2, as you said, you're right. They're P2, 3, 4. Roman, Merriman, Maris. Holy jumping, they're all up there battling. Lauren Weisman into P4. Chris Moses just ahead of him. Curtis, did you get a chance?
John Lawson has spun. That's dropped him back.
Did you get a chance to do some laps in the GT1 cars here, Curtis?
Yeah, last night I was riding around in Andres Priet, Brad Maris's car actually, in the Ferrari 575. Felt real good around here. Andres, who was up front there for a while, as a matter of fact, speaking of them, has dropped back to 8, so he must have had an off.
Yeah, we've got Moses all over Roman.
Roman made the pass in the last lap, so Chris is fighting back.
He wants that spot back. And Chris is probably thinking the earlier the better, although Chris is hanging that thing way loose around those turns.
Man, when you get that perfect little back end drift in that corner, that is just such a fun corner when you get it right like that.
What kind of top ends are they looking at on these banked corners here?
Well, I was seeing 100, if I got a good exit, I was getting around 189, 190 miles an hour on that banking in the back section. I never really got a chance to get a draft on anybody. I'm sure you could get it up over that.
Chris coming onto that bank corner again. He is, every corner he is sliding that car around. He has got that thing set up pretty loose.
Be careful, the temps are going up 104 degrees. Sliding too much, you get the heat in the tires, they're not going to go away. The banking keeps that heat in the tire, so be careful about that.
Well, those right side tires are going to take a beating on this track.
They take a beating on this track.
Chris just not able to get up tight enough to take advantage of the draft off road.
Chris's teammate Al Merriman up to 5th, so he's only only a couple seconds behind Moses at the moment. Banging through the gears as he goes into turn 1.
Well, that'll be, if they can hang on to these 2 top 5 finishes, that'll be great for TMR.
Al had a real good beginning to the race last week. He was running up at the top, saw him fade. So he may have been trying a little too hard to keep his position, and ended up costing him, I think. So that last brake marker is missing. I just saw that. So they've only got 2 brake markers there.
Well, there you go. And gee, I wonder who did that. Nobody will ever know, will they?
No, I don't know who could have possibly done it.
Oh, well, they'll get raked over the coals later on in the drive post-race chit-chat. On board now with Alex White, and he is being a thorn in the backside of Big Al, and has been for the last couple of laps. So Al has got his work to do. I hope Al is recovering from his surgery and able to hang on for an hour and a half.
Chris Moses might have the draft on Rich, but and he does. You can see that Lamborghini just coming up on him.
I just went in there. He's tucked in, and looks like he's having a good look on the inside there.
Back out. Ooh, you might.
And he, oh boy, he has got him. He has got him. Boy, oh boy, that's skillful driving on both their parts, I gotta tell you.
I didn't think he'd go in there and do that, but I guess that's why you see Chris winning races and me, you know, in the middle of the pack.
Well, I'm right there with you. You know, that was a high-risk move, but you know, these guys have raced together a lot and know each other, and I guess you know, Roman was a sportsman and gave him enough room to complete it if Chris could have hung on to it, and Chris did hang on to it. But that gives Rich the opportunity to return the favor.
Yes, it does. If he stays there, he'll be able to make the pass back. But the problem with this is they're letting Marty Urin put a little bit of a gap while these guys fight. They just kind of hook up and be able to, instead of fighting, they'll be able to close that gap to Marty. But
you know, I agree with you. You know, if they would just you know, resign themselves to that they're in P2 and P3 and work together and draft off each other without fighting for one spot, they could probably catch Marty up. But I mean, if they're going to keep on fighting, Marty's going to open his gap up. Rich just not in close enough. Chris sliding that car all around in that complex corners there.
Alex White has made the pass on Al, but for that fist spot, but Al's not giving it up easy.
Just dropped back there. Looks like Al's having a look on the inside again.
Alex a little wide to turn 4 there.
Well, there you go. They're swapping spots back and forth.
That's going to let Andres Prieto, the Ferrari, close up on him. He's only a second behind them now.
And there's a driver that's going to take advantage of this little battle.
Oh yeah, he's got Brad working with him right behind him. His teammates are hooked up, so watch these guys in front of him fight. Brad is very cagey when it comes to other drivers. He'll let the other guys take themselves out and be there to capitalize.
Absolutely. Yeah, just a little shout out there to our viewers and anybody watching. Need some help out there on the track. Brad is one of our NAGP driving instructors. Give him a holler. He's got lots to teach you.
kind of looking through the standings here. Aaron not able to do much damage. He's still stuck back there in 16th spot. He's gonna, you know, that's only what, 1 point there, so it's not gonna do him any good in the championship with Chris running second at the moment. So.
Nope, but in team championships, it looks like we've got Mr. Smooth, Greg Myers, right back where he started, P10. Still no head. He got no headlights, and he's only running with one tail light, so he's probably carrying some aero damage there, which is not going to help in the top end speeds on this track here. But not going to surprise me.
Definitely not.
You know, he's got some clean track in front of him that he'll quietly close the gap and move on up on these drivers. Mark O'Connie up to P11. And John Wathen in P13. Actually, John Wathen in P12. Sorry about that, folks. So John Sportelli down to P13.
31 seconds behind the leaders. Looks like we got a gaggle of cars starting to get together there in what, the 12th through 15th spot there.
Yeah, we got Sportelli at 13.
Too far behind each other.
Salem Montgomery at 14. He was running pretty high up, but he had a bit of a spin there coming out of the first bank section. And Andrew Werner in the cul-de-sac. And those cul-de-sacs were running pretty good in practice. And there you go. Werner has just taken the spot from, well, he's trying to take the spot from Montgomery, but that Ford GT's got some big snot on the big long tracks, but the cul-de-sac, it looks like he's got him. Montgomery not giving in, though. Werner on the inside. This could be tense. Montgomery on the outside. A little bit of contact. It looks like Salem was able to keep it on the track.
Kept it on. He got the body check there from Andrew.
Well, Andrew Werner was on the inside, and you know, it is pretty hard to hold those cars offline. Well, you did say there was going to be action there.
Yeah, it's always inviting if both guys play. You know, everybody can make it through there. But he may have been on the inside, but that sets the guy up who's on the outside for the inside for the next corner. So actually for the next two corners. So being on the outside there is not necessarily a bad thing if you keep it on the track and don't get a hip check.
If you can keep it on the track, like I say, outside of that groove might be a little less grip, trying to keep the power down to the ground. But this is a close little battle here with Montgomery.
So Andrew now working his way up towards Sportello, huh?
Absolutely, on board with Werner, and he's trying to chase down Sportelli. Mid-pack race, but it's not surprising because there's usually great racing in NAGP from P1 all the way through back to P30.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wandering through the standings again and noticing a few changes. Rich Roman had got passed by Moses, and once Moses made the pass, he's worked his way back up to Marty Urine. So, got the fight for the lead up there. Notice Al Merrimon's dropped back to 8th with Andres and Brad making a pass there. So,
boy, oh boy, we can't even make it through the field without stuff going on that we're missing.
Yeah, it's tough to keep on top of it, that's for sure. But I'm doing my best. Just throw names and positions out there.
Hey, just let me know what we're missing. I guess we're going to have to cycle through this field a little quicker than I have been. A little rusty after having a week off. Marty out in front. Chris
It's only
Moses
a
in P2.
second now. It was 3 seconds there, a few laps.
Both of these cars should, I would expect, both have similar tire wears.
I don't know, but that McLaren, it's a bit of a surprise to see it up there at the front of the field, but maybe I didn't know as much about it as I thought, you know. I didn't know it was going to be considered a power car, but there it is. Leading the field right now by just under a second.
Would he have this trimmed out?
Everybody's got it trimmed out. You just put 1-1 on the car and hang on.
That probably
Over the half the track this
why
morning.
Chris is sliding that thing through the twisty bits.
Yeah, you just take all the wing off the car. You know, more than half the track is wide open throttle. You're just going, so you take all the wing off the car and set your ride height so you don't want to lose any of that speed on the bumps. There are some bumps on this section of the banking here that will knock off a few miles an hour here and there. So
absolutely, I noticed that watching the cars in practice, and I noticed it in qualifying. You know, a lot of them were throwing quite the sparks out when they were grounding out.
Yeah, you want to trim the car up, put some packers in the car. Normally, remember about 7 centimeters in ride height, 7 to 8 depending on your suspension setup. You wouldn't have to worry about the bottoming.
Chris getting uptight in behind Marty.
He's been able to gap rope by 3 seconds, so
yeah, Rich is sort of falling off these top two guys a little bit.
yeah, but if they happen to do a little door bang in there, Rich will be right back on top of them. Have a bit of a toe. He's trying to keep it in there. He won't flip it. He'll see that lap traffic up ahead of him. And
Chris, having a look. And coming up onto this slower lap traffic has really got to play into Marty's setting up for these next. Oh, and the car is pulling off into the grass, and one of these two sail on through.
That was Chris Jackson. I hopped on to see who it might be. And he's going to sit there and wait.
Well, this is...
get going. He'll sit there all night.
Yeah, this is one of Chris's first races, so we're going to give him a free one on that one. Probably got the blue flag and thought I better get the heck out of the way, and got a little too far out of the way. Chris trying to take the car low.
Has run into something hard and damaged his suspension, so Sam's out of the race now.
Sam is out. And we had that sound, and that usually indicates someone is definitely out. Chris way wide on turn 1 there. And a big bobble into turn 2. And that gives Roman, or Marty, a little bit of breathing room.
A little early, but it looks like Brad Maris on lap 17 has brought it into the pits. So maybe he figures he's losing some time with aero damage and going to try to run the rest of the race on.
Hopefully he's within his fuel window. I no doubt he is. I can't imagine someone with that kind of experience coming in before his pit window.
Yeah, he must be, because Aaron Parsons also bringing it in. So
going to cycle through.
17 is opening of a window.
Roman in 3rd, Weisman in 4th, Alex White in P5, Andre Prado up to P6, Big Al Merriman in P7, and Johnny McIntyre closing up on him. Bringing Myers. No light. Well, no, sorry. One tail light running there, so at least he's got a tail light going in P9. Mark O'Connor up to P10 through this pit cycling. Andrew Werner in 11. John Sportelli in 12. Salem Montgomery still hammering away at it in P13. John Wathen in 14. Juan Monroy in 15. Gup Douglas in 16. Johnny Lugnutz up to P17. Brad Maris in 18. Mike Graytrix, there you go. Mikey's making a move for you. To P19. Oh boy, Mike. And Dan Collins, another one of our newcomers, in the top 20 at P20. Parsons at 21, sliding around as he comes out of the pits. And Chris Jackson.
Kind of a long pit stop, so he took
took fuel, tires, and probably got all his repairs done.
Yeah, it was a long pit stop for Aaron, but he'd be good to go for the rest of the race. So I'm kind of surprised to see these guys pitting on laps 17, 18. They must want to get their aero damage fixed and hope they don't get any more, because I think it's kind of a big gamble here to pit this early. You know, at the end of your stint, these temperatures, you'll be on pretty warm tires.
Track temp has gone up. We're at 103 track temp now, so it has risen since the start of the race. Maybe these tires are falling off a little quicker than we think.
Yeah, but if that's the case, you certainly don't want to run 3/4 of a race, you know, on worn-out tires. So I guess we'll see.
I agree with you.
Prove me wrong, Aaron. Prove me wrong.
Well, we've got John Wathen in the pits now.
He'll drop back probably. You know, Aaron went a lap down, so John has already gone a lap down, sitting in the pits there.
Back up in front.
Dan Collins has come in.
And you know who? All over his bumper. On board. And this will be interesting to watch these two go through their pit cycle too. It's not going to surprise me to watch Chris Moses, the pit wizard, pull a rabbit out of his hat and make a pass in the pits if he can't do it on the track.
Well, Chris is, that Lambert's going to take a little bit longer than taking on fuel. So he's going to have to really pull some misery out if he wants to make a pass and pit lane in that car.
Yep, already with a little bit of a wobble coming onto the bank section of the track, but Chris not able to capitalize on it and tucked in behind. Sure superior in the braking zone. He is all over in the chicane. Bus stop. extending that line absolutely perfectly there.
He's just keeping his nose in there far enough to keep him worried, but
yeah, great racing, and you know, I think Chris is just you know, smart enough not to stick his nose in too far.
too far.
Well, we know Marty's not going to back off, and
Oh no.
you know, if
He's even tougher to get around when he's out front of the race, that's for sure.
you know, and I think if Chris gets his nose stuck in too far there, it'd just be trouble for both of them. It is a little surprising that that Lambo just cannot run that McLaren down. Well, while these two continue their little dicey battle, let's just cycle through and see how the rest of the field is shaking up. Chris Moses in the pits. Just ready to cycle past them, and Chris is in.
And Andres Prieto also coming in, so we're in the pit window for a lot of these guys now, I think.
Absolutely. Look for that pit lane to get busy. Chris still waiting.
I'm trying to figure out who we've lost. So,
I think you're right.
His second here, and I'll be able to tell you.
It looks like, yes, Chris took a lot of fuel on. Took quite a while to get that fuel. He's just up getting his tires now. And I'm going to pop up and see, I'm back up on board with Marty, and let's see if Marty's going to dive in on this lap. What's your call there, Curtis? You think he's in, or is he going to hang out there?
Marty, I think he'll probably stay out another lap.
Marty in the pits.
I was just about to change my mind too. It's like, no, he saw Moses go in. He'll go in.
Marty's in. We've got a couple other cars going in there. Looks like Rich Roman is in. Alex White takes over P and P5. Greg Myers in the pits. Boy, oh boy. I wouldn't doubt that Greg is going to have to get some aero fixed on that car. Big Al in the pits. Alex White in the pits. Andrew Werner coming into pit lane. Salem Montgomery stays out. Mark O'Connie stays out. John Sportelli stays out. Gup Douglas coming around. I think Gup could use some aero work too. He's missing most of his lights. Both the left side of his lights.
Figure out who else we lost. It was David Raleigh we've lost. So.
Gup Douglas in the pits. Chris Moses back out in P13.
Really making some passes here. He's working his way past start-finish like right now. So we know Laurent, John, Salem was. Did Salem pit?
I don't think Salem's pitted.
No, Salem, Marco, and John are all racing together, so those three have not pitted yet either. So looks like Chris has made the
Chris
pass.
has made the pass.
By what, half a second?
By, oh boy, what was that, half a second? By a bumper.
He's just barely out front.
By a bumper. And, you know, Chris, you know, he was out on warm tires and Marty out on cold tires. I mean, there was not much, you know, Marty really couldn't challenge him too hard there. I mean, he'd be out on stone cold tires.
So you called it. There it is. Chris Pit Magic. I don't know how he does it with that Lamborghini. It takes forever to put gas in that car. But
I had the camera on that car. It seemed like forever to fuel that thing. I think it's got a bathtub for a gas tank.
It needs it. It's a thirsty car.
Both of them sliding
Salem
into the bus stop. Salem in.
Salem's in. But Laurent, as we saw Kevin Savoy do, he's staying out there as long as he can with the good gas mileage the Nissan gets.
Yeah, that seems to be you know, happening quite consistently through this GT1 series with these Nissans. They just seem to be able to wind those things out forever. And boy, keeping those cars out, you know, they're not losing a lot of time. It doesn't seem in the previous races. I don't know how they're doing tonight, but a great endurance car.
Yeah, well, Laurent losing he's about a second lap slower at the moment than Chris Moses, so I don't think he knows that yet. We'll see if he runs in.
Well, we got P7,
right
P7 Rich Roman, Alex White in 8, and Andre Fredo in 9. A good little battle there. Not much separating those guys. Brad Maris up into P10. Greg Myers into P11. Looks like Greg, let's just take a little look at Greg here. I think we got some headlights back, Greg. That car is looking good. You're good to go, Gregory. Mr. Smooth is back on a roll.
Got some straight body panels and new headlights, and you'll be happy.
A mighty fine Chrysler pit crew they have. Big Al Merriman in 12. Aaron Parsons up to P13. Looks like Aaron's got his Chrysler guys working hard as well. Hey, guess who's in P14?
Mikey P14. Hasn't pitted yet, but it's good to see him up there in 14th spot.
Absolutely. Good on you, Mike. Hang in there. And he's probably going to benefit from some getting some of that aero fixed too.
What this is going to do for Aaron? Aaron's going to be able to make up a lot of spots here. He's already made up 3 spots in the pit stop sequence. Let's see how he does here. Looks like he's coming around in the last section. Yeah, so he'll be able to pick up another 4 spots while those guys sit in pit lane. So Aaron Parsons making a move right now.
Now I don't think Wathen's pitted. He's still running without any eyeballs on the front of that car. But this track is fairly well lit, so these guys can run without. There are some tracks we run at. If you lose your headlights, you are in big trouble.
Yeah, this track is well lit, so you don't really need them. The other cars might like to see you with them, though.
A little surprised to see Juan Monroy down in P17. And Cup Douglas in 18.
Bit of a bad start, so had some bumping and banging at the beginning of the race, so he's keeping it on track. But Aaron Parsons right now is the man on the move. He's up to 11, picked up 2 more spots. Now he's fighting through some traffic, huh?
Yeah, I just caught that. It looks like he just went around Dan Collins. And we have got Chris Jackson is headed into the pits. Back out in front, there's your race leader, Chris Moses. I'm not going to say that's a comfortable gap, because with these 2 guys, I don't think there is a comfortable gap. But got a little bit of breathing room. Into Marty. Oh, it sounds like we lost somebody else. Rich Roman in third.
Yeah, we did.
But Rich has got Alex White all over his bumper, and I'm going on board with Alex. Alex White in the Lister Storm chasing down Rich Roman in the Maserati.
Looks like we lost one of the Ferraris. We lost Brad Maris's teammate, Andres Prado, out of the race.
No, say it's not so. Those guys need those team
know
points.
What got him? Not gonna get him tonight. Andres is out.
And that's too bad. Brad's running a great race. Just picked him up in P5. And Brad's not too far behind that 3-4 battle.
Just about 5 seconds off the podiums there, so Brad had mentioned to me about that. He goes, oh yeah, top 5 for you, Kurt. You can do that tonight. You can do that tonight. Well, might be able to prove himself right if he can get up there, so he's running 5th right now.
Yeah, and once White and Roman get into a bit of a battle, that'll open up a window for Brad to close the gap. Roman in 3rd, White in 4th, Maris in 5th, Weisman in 6th, Greg Myers up to P7, Mr. Smooth. And Greg's got pretty clean track in front of him, which suits his driving style just fine. He'll just drive his line and drive his way right up to the battle in front of him. Big Al Merriman in P8, Johnny McIntyre in P9, and I'm going to jump on board right now with Mr. Aaron Parsons, a wonder from down under.
It's been in a battle here. I've been following along with these two, Aaron and Johnny Mac. Aaron was able to make the pass, but Johnny went right back around him on the banking, so which is really surprising. John Will's got a good drive out of that chicane, so Fiber, I thought would pull away from anybody, but not the case right now. Aaron pushing really hard, you can see that in that chicane.
Yep. On board with Johnny Mac looking out the rear view mirror. Boy, oh boy, out that rear view mirror sure gives you a good idea of what this bank is all about. This looks like a lot of fun out there in this track. I sure would like to be involved in this one.
This is a fun track to race on.
This is a course and a track that we need to get about 40 drivers in here.
Just notice another name missing from the list here is Johnny Lugnuts is out.
Lugnuts is out.
Oh.
Well, sorry, Johnny, we didn't get an opportunity to get you on the broadcast too much. Boy, oh boy, Johnny Mac has just made it around a car that has gone off. Aaron Parsons in the 10. And Mac in 9th. You're right. Aaron just cannot get that gap closed up there.
Really surprising. But we did see Aaron way back there in what, back there in the 20s at one point, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we saw him back as far as 22nd.
Yeah, so he's back up to 10th. A little bit better points, but not enough with Chris leading the way right now.
Well, you know,
Mikey Greatrick must have had an off of some sort because he's been in the pits a while. Must be fixing some damage.
well, at these high speeds, it doesn't take much of an off for you to pick up enough damage to need to go in, because you're gonna. There's no way you can carry speed at these high-speed banks with a lot of aero damage. John Sportelli back in P11. Salem Montgomery hanging on to P12. Juan Monroy in 13th with Marco Conti all over the back of him. On board with Marco. Marco have a look on the outside. Juan having no part of it. Holding Marco off real well. There's a guy we always like to watch is Marco Conti. We never quite know what the heck he's going to do out there. He shows real flashes of speed. He's shown some real good wet condition driving. A fun guy to watch and a great character to talk to as well.
Yeah, you just never know what you're going to get on race night, right? And I just came up with another name we're missing tonight right now. John Wathen out of the race also. So
whoa, Marco
caught
Conti
up on who's missing.
frozen on the track.
Yep.
It's sometimes these little glitches there throw me for a loop. Apparently he's still in behind.
It can scare you.
It did. I thought it's a good thing it's just the two of them running nose and tail.
I think the aliens try to grab you, but they don't. They miss and causes the freeze, and next thing you know, you're back. He's got a good run though. He's going to try to get around outside of Juan, but Juan hugs that inside line.
And this is the same move he has tried for a couple of laps in a row now. And if Marco, as you said earlier, if he could hold that line on the outside with any speed, he would have the advantage coming around to the next two corners. But Juan not having any bit of it. Moving back through the pack here, we've got Andy Warner at 15. Gup Douglas in the points at P16. And we've got Dan Collins up to P17.
So Dan not far off his the last point paying position, but we got Aaron Parsons putting a fight up there on Al.
Well, good on him. We've got Dan Collins, new driver here. Dan is driving the Viper, has just put the pass on Chris Jackson, another newcomer. So good on him. They're having a good rookie battle here, and not far out of the points.
Good battle in the back of the pack. No, any mistakes up front, you know, finish the race, get some points.
And Mike
Greatrix
makes
any mistakes
is not far behind these two, so you can bet Mike is going to want to get up and get by these guys. We'll keep an eye on that gap, and when we see Mikey making a move, we'll get back at you, Mike. Out in front, there's your race leader, Chris Moses.